This call is now being recorded.
A very good evening to all of you. As I'm Akbaru, 7 of Koru. Search and reasoning. Reservation of 33% of seats for women in parliament and state legislature does not require any constitutional amendment. Political parties contesting elections can allocate 33% of seats they contest to women candidates without any constitutional amendment. 7-2. Seven answer. A is false, R is true. Sound অহা নাই নেকি? Sound আহিছে নে? মিস্টাৰ গাৰ্গে কিবা এটা কৈছিলে ন? মই কিবা এটা কোনবা এখন পেপাৰৰ কথা কৈছিলে ন? পেপাৰ এখন কৰাৰ কথা কৈছিলে। পঠাই দিবচোন, মই চাম। টেলিগ্ৰাম কৰি পঠাই দিব। Which of the following is stated in the Constitution of India? President shall not be a member of either House of Parliament. This Parliament shall consist of President and 2 houses. Both correct. President shall not be a member of either House of Parliament. Kuno eta house or member hobo nuaribo. Aru Parliament consists of President and 2 houses. 8B correct answer. Very good. A to call. We the people of India, in our Constituent Assembly, this acts do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Eto ki hoy? 26th day of January 1950, 26th day of November 1949. সকলোৱে জানে এটো? Very easy question. 9B, ঠিক আছে? Which of the following schedules of Constitution of India contains provisions regarding Anti-Defection Act? Very tough question. The Constitution of India recognizes only religious minorities, only linguistic minorities, religious or linguistic minorities, religious, linguistic, or ethnic minorities. So, eto ABCD format ase. C, religious and linguistic minorities. You are expected to know this. Consider the following statements. An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, State Legislature, President. Kun kita correct hoy? Eto bahut tough hobo. 1 and 2. President to nuare. State Legislature nuare. State Legislature thoka duta eliminator. Only 1 and 2. My concept clear. Consider the following statements about the recent amendments to the elections law by the Representation of People Amendment Act. A Representation of People Act RPA বহুত বেছি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, মেইনছত প্রশ্ন খুঁটিয়ে থাকে এর উপর, সিলেবাসতে আছে। Any conviction for the offense of insulting national flag, Constitution of Indian shall entail disqualification for contesting elections to Parliament and state legislatures for 6 years from the date of conviction. There is an increase in security deposit which a candidate has to make to contest election. A candidate cannot now stand for election from more than one parliamentary constituency. No election will now be countermanded on the death of a contesting candidate. ইয়াৰ পৰা মই এটা জানো এই 3 টো মোৰ কাৰণে wrong হয় আৰু a candidate cannot now stand for election from more than one constituency. So 3 টো eliminate কৰি দিয়া লগে লগে 1 2 4 থাকিলে আৰু এটা চাওক ইয়াতে দুটা নো আছে দেখিছেনে ইয়াত এটা নো আছে ইয়াত এটা নো আছে দুইটাৰ ভিতৰত সাৱধান হ'ব লাগিব 1 2 and 4 13B is correct. So no election will now be countermanded on the death of a contesting candidate. Baki kita thike ase. 14. 73rd Constitution Amendment Act 1992 কি হয় নপৰ 73rd Constitution Amendment Act খুদিলে আপোনালোকক ইনসাল্ট কৰা নহব Which article of the Constitution provides that it shall be the endeavor of every state to provide adequate facility for instruction in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education? Kuntu article? Article 350A, 15C. Are to inserted by Kuntu amendment hetu janibo lagibo. 7th Constitutional Amendment. Which one of the following statements correctly describes fourth schedule hudidile etia ki hobo fourth schedule of the Constitution of India ki ase fourth schedule very 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 tough question. It allocates seats in the Council of States. 16B. Constitution 69th Amendment, 75th Amendment, তাৰপিছত 80th Amendment, 83rd Amendment. এইটো কেনেকৈ দেখাম এটা দিগদাৰ হৈ গৈছে 69th amendment to A5 বুলি কৈছে A5 থকা একিটা আছে বাকি A5 ইয়াত নাই B1 to free gift পাই গৈছে B1 75th to rent tribunals C4 নহলে C3 হ'ব 80th Amendment, Constitution of Panchayats, aru accepting recommendations of Finance Commission. D2, 83rd Amendment, no reservations for scheduled castes in Panchayats in Arunachal Pradesh. C4 hobo. So answer will be A. 17A Constitution of Panchayats etu to 73rd Amendment হৈ যাব so C3 to wrong so Constitution Amendment kita মনত থাকিলে এনেকৈ eliminate কৰিব পাৰিবগে আৰু কেটামান important আছে আৰু amendment if a new state of Indian Union is to be created which one of the following schedules of the Constitution must be amended? 18A. এবাৰ easy প্ৰশ্ন আৰু List 1 or list 2? 54, 75, 155, 164. "54 President, 75 PM, 155 Governor, 164 to ki CM. ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. 19A is the correct answer. ঠিক আছে, এইটো আৰু কি প্ৰশ্ন আৰু? Which one of the following amendments to the Indian Constitution empowers the President to send back any matter for reconsideration by the Council of Ministers? Reconsideration by the Council of Ministers. Kuntu amendment? 44th Amendment is the correct answer. 20D. 93rd Constitutional Amendment deals with continuation of reservation for backward classes, free and compulsory education for all, reservation of 30% posts for women, allocation of more number of parliamentary seats. 21B, free and compulsory education. আচ্ছা, এটা কথা ইয়াত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট মনত ৰাখিব, এই যে 93rd Constitution Amendment, এইটো 2002ত আহিছে। সো আপোনালোকৰ এইটো হোমৱৰ্ক হ'ল যে ৰিসেন্ট কনস্টিটিউশনাল এমেন্ডমেন্টস খিনি পঢ়িবলৈ। This is expected from all. এইটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট, বহুত মানে বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট। এইটো নুখুধিলে হে বেয়া এইটো প্ৰশ্নটো। ঠিক আছে, এইটো কৰিবনে? ৰিসেন্ট কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্ট, এইটো সব 2022 কাৰণে এইটো আহিছে। সো এইটো কৰিবনে আপোনালোকে? ৰিসেন্ট কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্টস খিনি চাবনে? Yes, can I entrust you with this responsibility? এইটো লগালগ আজিয়ে কৰি ল'ব, কাৰণ কি আপোনালোকৰ 93rd Constitution Amendmentত কি হৈছে সেইটো নুখুধে নহয়, আপোনালোকৰ ৰিসেন্ট কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্টত কি হৈছে সেইটোৱে সুধিব। সো লিষ্ট 1, লিষ্ট 2 এইটো কৈ দিয়ক এতিয়া। (16 to 29 to 31). Property saved by authority of law. Public appointment. Educational institution. A2 হ'ব পাৰে, নহ'লে 3 হ'ব পাৰে। A2 বুলি কৈছে, পাব্লিক এপইণ্টমেণ্ট। তো এইকেইটা কেঞ্চেল হৈ গ'ল। C3 to free gift. Minorities, educational institutions. D1. (22A) হ'ব তেতিয়াহ'লে। B4. সবে A পাইছে? ক্লিয়াৰ সবৰে? The purpose of inclusion of DPSP in Indian Constitution is to establish key political democracy, social democracy, Gandhian democracy, social and economic democracy. এটো নুখুধাকেতো কোৱেশ্চন হ'বই নোৱাৰে DPSP ওপৰত। International Peace and Security DPSP কোনটো হয়? এইবিলাক আপোনালোকৰ কাৰণে আৰু প্ৰশ্ন নহয় আৰু। Ninth schedule to the Indian Constitution was added by. Ninth schedule কেতিয়া add কৰা হৈছিলে? First Amendment. Under which article of the Indian Constitution did the President give his assent to the ordinance on electoral reforms when it was sent back to him by the Union Cabinet without making any changes? C. 1, 2, 3. Which article of Indian Constitution did the President make a reference to the Supreme Court to seek the court's opinion on the constitutional validity of Election Commission's decision? 143, 27, B. Which one of the following articles of the Indian Constitution provides, it shall be the duty of the Union to protect every state against external aggression and internal disturbance? 355, 28, D, 355. List 1 or list 2 মিলাব লাগে আৰু এইকেইটা আপোনালোকে লিখি লওক এতিয়া লিখি পিনে ক'ব লাগিব এইকেইটা এইকেইটা এনেকে A3 এনেকে ক'লে নহ'ব DPSP Ireland বুলি কৈছে Fundamental Rights USA বুলি কৈছে Concurrent List Australia বুলি কৈছে India as a union of states India as a union of states কি হয় Canada নে United Kingdom Canada option তে নাই United Kingdom option তে নাই Greater power to the Union Canada very good So এটা কোনটো হ'ব আনসার কোডস কিটাৰ ভিতৰত এগিটা ABCD ভিতৰত কোনটো হ'ব আনসার D হ'ব নেকি 29 D is correct Which of the following constitutional amendments are related to raising the number of members of Lok Sabha to be elected from the states? Seventh and 31st, 30C. Which of the following schedules of the Indian Constitution lists the names of states and specifies their territories? Can you got tough question? 31. First, will you say 31A. Which one of the following statements correctly describes the fourth schedule of the Constitution of India? Fourth schedule. My God, fourth schedule to kya ho? Allocates seats in the Council of States, Rajya Sabha, 32D. Which one of the following articles of the Constitution of India says executive power of every state shall be so exercised as not to impede or prejudice the exercise of executive power of the Union? এটা আমি পঢ়িছিলো কি হ'ব আৰু article 257 33A এইকেইটা 14, 15, 16, 17 এইকেইটা লিখিব লাগিব শর্টকে হলেও এইকেইটা এ বি কলে নহব Seventeen untouchability বুলি কৈছে 14 equality before law employment 16 hobo 15 state shall not discriminate aru state shall not discriminate employment 34 কোনটো answer hobo A2 D3 C4 C will be the answer 16 employment bas 16 employment khatam aur 17 untouchability 15 general shall not discriminate or generally 14 equality so revision through questions for summer which article of the Constitution of India says no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed kuntu article ot koise in a factory or mine or engage in any other hazardous employment 24 45 ho jabon lagbo 24 Part 9 of the Constitution of India provisions for panchayats and was inserted in 1992 Part 9A municipalities and Article 243Q envisages two types of municipalities municipal corporation or municipal council or municipal council corporation for each state 36 36 one only বুলি কৈছে one only কিয় এটো কিয় ভুল হয় ইয়াত why is this wrong আর কোনটো ভুল আছে two types of municipalities one type of municipalities two types হয় নি ভুলটো ক'ত আছে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমাৰ ইয়াত one only কিয় হল Part 9A of the Constitution of India Cantonment Board আছে so two types নহব Next, Article 371A Aru 371I were inserted in the Constitution of India to meet regional demands of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur. Constitution of India and the United States of America envisages a dual policy, union and states, but a single citizenship. A naturalized citizen of India can never be deprived of his citizenship. Etu sobor clear holle one only heritu two types ne three types every state So ইয়াত কি হ'ব D one only এইটো নহয় আৰু এইটোও নহয় 37 টো ক'ব লাগিব না আকৌবাৰ কোনটো ক'ব লাগিব 36 টো 36 36 1 টো ঠিক আছে 2 টোত কি প্ৰবলেম আছে 9A এটো মোক সহায় কৰিব লাগিব মই এটো মই মনত নাই ভুল কি হৈ আছে 243 cute কি লিখা আছে envisages two types of municipalities না three types for every state হয় না নহয় হেয়া 243 cute নগৰ পঞ্চায়ত থাকি গল নহয় every state নহয় বুলিও কৈছে so এটো wrong নগৰ পঞ্চায়ত ঠিক আছে ক্লিয়াৰ হল সবৰে তাৰপিছত এইটোতো ক্লিয়াৰ হল 37 টো কাৰো প্ৰবলেম নাই কি জানি 98th Amendment Act is related to 98th Amendment Act is related to empowering the center to levy and appropriate service tax, constitution of National Judicial Commission, readjustment of electoral constituencies, demarcation of new boundaries between states. Inject 38B. The Constitution of India has 20 parts. There are 390 articles in the Constitution of India in all. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th schedules were added to the Constitution of India by Constitution Amendment Acts. One to wrong বুলি কৈছে কিমানটা পার্ট আছে আমাৰ কনস্টিটিউশনত হেতু ক'ব লাগিব 25 parts original 22 parts so 1 থকাটো wrong 2 বা 3 হ'ব there are 390 articles in the Constitution of India in all কেটা articles আছে 448 now yes Who among the following was the chairman of Union Constitution Assembly Committee and of the Constituent Assembly? Union Constitution Committee. Union Constitution Committee chairman কোন আছিলে? Nehru. 40C. Which one of the following subjects is under Union list in the 7th schedule? Union list তো under আছে. Labor and safety in mines, agriculture, fisheries, public health. Agriculture, fisheries, public health hobo na lage 41A. What does 104th Constitution Amendment Bill related to? Kuntu hoy. Abolition of legislative councils in certain areas. Introduction of dual citizenship for persons of Indian origin. Quota. Providing quota boli koise. Educationally backward. 42C is correct. So আপোনালোকে দেখিছে কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্ট বু হুদি আছে কারেন্ট কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্ট বু হুদিছে প্ৰত্যেক বছৰৰ কনস্টিটিউশন এমেন্ডমেন্ট Which of the following commission was set up in pursuance of a definite provision under an article of the Constitution of India? Provision eta ase, tar under ase. Human Rights Commission to nohoy. 43C. Simple question. Free and compulsory education to children of 6 to 14 years age group by the state by the 76th Amendment. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan seeks to provide computer education even in rural areas. Education was included in the concurrent list by the 42nd Amendment 1976 to the Constitution of India. One, two wrong hole. 2 and 3 thaki gol. 44C. 86th Amendment tote 76th Amendment buli dise. Which of the following Constitution Amendment Acts seeks that the size of the Council of Ministers at the center and in a state must not exceed 15% of total number of members in Lok Sabha and total number of members of the Legislative Council Assembly of that state? 91st, 45A. Which of the following is are included? Etu sauk 91st to hudise 2003 to ha 2007 out hudise 4 বছৰ পিছত হদিছে তো আমি অকমান আগৰ চাব লাগিব GST Constitution Amendment GST Constitution Amendment কোন নম্বৰ হয় তো জানে নেকি আপোনালোকে 100th. Which of the following are included in DPSP? Prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Consumption, except for medicinal purposes, intoxicating drinks and of other drugs which are injurious to health. Traffic in human beings to hobo nware. Eta kata lage duta kati gol. 2 only. Neither 1 nor 2 without hobo. 46B hokole dise yes. The schedule of the Indian Constitution contains special provisions for administration and control of scheduled areas in several states. Eto apnalok kane proshno nohoy aru. 5th schedule. Under which of one of the following Constitution Amendment Acts 4 languages were added to the list of languages under 8th schedule and 22 lage bridhi pale? 92nd বুলি কৈছে 48C is correct. Which one of the following Constitution Amendment states that total number of ministers including PM 15% ko beshi hobo nware? Repeat. With reference to Constitution of India, the following FR, FD, DPSP, which of the above provisions of Constitution of India are fulfilled by National Social Assistance Program launched by Government of India? 3 only বুলি কৈছে 3 only fundamental rights to নহয় 50b 3 only fundamental rights হ'ব হলে সাংঘাতিক হৈ যাব Under the Constitution of India, which one of the following is not a fundamental duty? Develop scientific temper to safeguard public property, abide by Constitution and respect its ideals, to vote in public elections. Consider the following provisions under the DPSP as enshrined in the Constitution of India. Gandhian principles কোনকেইটা হেটা হৈছে Gandhian principles এটো লিখিব লাগিব Gandhian principles কিটা 1 to নহয় বুলি কৈছে ইউনিফর্ম সিভিল কোড টু নোহোৱা লগে লগে 2 and 3 থাকিলে Securing for all the workers reasonable leisure and cultural opportunities এটো কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰিন্সিপল হয় এটো টাইপ টু ক'ব লাগিব workersৰ কাৰণে leisure socialist definitely correct Which of the following special powers have been conferred on the Rajya Sabha by the Constitution of India? Rajya Sabha power diya hoise to change existing territory of a state, change the name of a state, pass a resolution, all India services, amend election procedure, determine the functions of election commission. এবোৰ দেখিলে আপোনালোকে হাঁহি উঠি যাব to determine the functions of the election commission and to determine the number of election commissioners it Rajya Sabha power দিছে বলে কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কথা লিখিব লগিয়া হৈ গৈছে UPSC to amend the election procedure of the president and to determine the pension of the president after his or her retirement এটো বলে Rajya Sabha power দিয়া হৈছে to change existing territory of a state and to change the name of a state eto Rajya Sabha diya hoise boli likhibo lagia hoise Which of the following provisions of the Constitution of India have a bearing on education bearing on education DPSP all 54 Untutnu 9 54D bearing to can be nisinaru According to the Constitution of India, it is the duty of President of India to cause to be laid before the Parliament which of the following? Recommendations of Finance Commission, Public Accounts Committee, Comptroller Auditor General, Report of National Commission for Scheduled Castes. To know বুলি কৈছে Public Accounts Committee report নিদিয়ে প্ৰেসিডেন্টে so কি হ'ব 134 হ'ব নেকি 55C Public Accounts Committee to ই বেলেগৰ ৰিপৰ্ট বোৰ দিলে ই চাই হে CAG ৰিপৰ্ট আছে CAG ৰিপৰ্ট টু Public Accounts Committee চাব so CAG report to place কৰিব লাগিব প্ৰেসিডেন্টে Number 56. Which of the following is among fundamental duties laid down in the Indian Constitution? बहुत tough question. To know হোৱা লগে লগে to know হৈ থাকিলে 1 3 4 scientific temper, excellence in all spheres, rich heritage of our composite culture. আমিতো এইবোৰ মুখস্থ কৰি পেলাইছো আৰু ইয়াত আৰ্টিকলটো সোধাই নাই. The distribution of powers between center and the states in Indian Constitution is based on the act provided in the Federal Provisions, Government of India Act 1935, 57C. With reference to Indian history, the members of the Constituent Assembly from the provinces were directly elected by the people of those provinces, nominated by INC and Muslim League, elected by provincial legislative assemblies, selected by the government for their expertise in constitutional matters. Elected by the provincial legislative assemblies, directly elected by people নহয়. According to Constitution of India, which of the following are fundamental for the governance of the country? Fundamental for the governance of the country. কেনেকুৱা question? DPSP. ইয়াতকৈ simple প্ৰশ্ন কি হ'ব পাৰে আৰু? An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by an introduction of a bill in the Lok Sabha. All Lok Sabha te pare de. If such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character of the Constitution, the amendment also requires to be ratified by all the states. প্ৰত্যেকখন ষ্টেটে ratify কৰিব লাগিব. এখনো যদি মিছ হৈ যায় তেতিয়া দিগদাৰ হৈ যাব. Half of the states, all the states নহয়. All the states হ'লেচোন একো এমেণ্ডমেণ্টে কৰিব নোৱাৰিব. আৰু লোক সভা অনলি, এইটোতো জানেই আৰু. ৰাজ্যসভা নহ'লে কেনেকে হ'ব? Which of the following bodies do not find mention in the Constitution? মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা Planning Commission to মই লৈছো. Do not find বুলি কৈছে ন, does not find mention. মোৰ লাগিছে Planning Commission to নাই. তো এটা eliminate হৈ গ'ল এনেকে কৰাৰ কাৰণে. National Development Council নাই 1 2 এটো ক্যান্সেল হৈ গ'ল. 3 টো হয় নে নহয়? Zonal Council টো আছে নে নাই? Zonal Council টো নাই বুলি কৈছে. So D. National Development Council is an organ of the Planning Commission. Economic and social planning is kept in concurrent list. Constitution of India prescribes the panchayats should be assigned the task of preparation of plan for economic development and social justice. One wrong বুলি কৈছে. One wrong বুলি কোৱাৰ লগে লগে তিনিটা চোন এলিমিনেট হৈ গ'ল. 2 and 3 থাকিলে. One wrong. National Development Council is an organ of the Planning Commission. Planning Commissioner যিটো আছে সেইটো NDCA মোহৰ লগায় ন সেইটো organ নহয় part নহয় economic justice as one of the objectives of the Indian Constitution has been provided in the preamble and fundamental rights preamble and DPSP fundamental rights and DPSP none of the above. B 63B বুলি কৈছে 63B এ হয় preamble আৰু fundamental rights. Which of the following schedules of the Constitution of India contains provisions regarding anti-defection? Toughest question. Tenth schedule. In the Constitution of India, promotion of international peace and security is included in the very tough question. DPSP. The provisions of fifth schedule, bapre, fifth schedule or sixth schedule, etu kene kobo eta fifth schedule, sixth schedule, ebla kholi dise. Ki hobo? Tribes. Which of the following is the custodian of the Constitution of India? Custodian kun hoy? President niki? Prime Minister niki? Etu aru option tu aru ki kom aru? Lok Sabha hobo pare niki? To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India is a provision made in the what is it? To uphold and protect sovereignty, unity, integrity is a provision made in the preamble, DPSP, fundamental rights. Fundamental duties 68D. A to another toughest question. Ideal of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in its 7th schedule niki. Fundamental rights niki. Preamble niki. DPSP. Consider the following statements regarding the DPSP. The principles spelled out in the socio-economic democracy. The principles spell out the socio-economic democracy in the country. The provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. Neither, no, both. 70C. ইয়াতো not আছে ইয়াতো any আছে এবলে wrong কৰি দিব নি আপোনালোকে এটো হলে you will be going by simple logic. It will be not critical reasoning, simple reasoning. The Parliament of India acquires the power to legislate on any item in the state list in the national interest if resolution to that effect is passed by the Lok Sabha by a simple majority. Lok Sabha by a majority of not less than 2/3. Rajya Sabha by a simple majority. Rajya Sabha by a majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting. So Lok Sabha to nohoboy. Rajya Sabha by not less than 2/3 of its members present and voting. 71D is absolutely correct. Which one of the following objectives is not embodied in the preamble of the Constitution of India? Economic liberty. The mind of the makers of the Constitution of India is reflected in which of the following? Preamble, fundamental rights, DPSP. Fundamental duties niki. 73A. Which of the following are envisaged by the right against exploitation in the Constitution of India? Prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor, abolition of untouchability, protection of the interests of minorities, prohibition of employment of children in the factories and mines. এটা মোক ক'ব লাগিব 4 নম্বৰ ইয়াৰ আৰ্টিকেলটো ক'ব লাগিব। 24 1 আৰু 4 এইকেইটা নহ'ব। আনটাচেবিলিটি আৰ্টিকেল কওক। Interest of minorities, protection of interests of minorities article. Untouchability 17, very good. Interest of minorities 29 and 30. Minorities 29. So 1 and 4 only hobo. Which one of the following statements is correct? Rights are claims of state. State or claim hoy against the citizens. Enuka kotha hobo pare niki? State or rights are against citizens. Rights are privileges which are incorporated in the constitution of a state. Rights are claims of citizens against the state. Rights are privileged of a few citizens against the many. I don't know. Claims of citizens against the state. No? State emuk eko koibo na mur adhikar ase. অধিকাৰবোৰ কাঢ়ি লৈ যায়। আপোনালোকে চিনেমাবিলাকত দেখায় ন আগতে কোনোবা কাৰোবাক লাভ কৰিলে ছোৱালীজনীক বন্দী কৰি থৈ দিয়ে নহয়, তাইক ওলাই যাব নিদিবা বুলি। এনেকুৱা দেখিছেনে চিনেমা? She has no right to go to school, college. ঘৰত বন্ধ কৰি ৰাখি থৈ দিয়ে। চাইছেনে আপোনালোক এনেকুৱা মুভিজ কেতিয়াবা ক'ৰবাত? চাইছে? Rights. Our right to কাঢ়ি লৈ গৈছে। She has no right to go to college. Which of the following are true of the fundamental duties of Indian citizen? A legislative process has been provided to enforce these duties. Enforce কৰিবলৈ এটা legislative process provide কৰিছে, হয় নে নহয়? They are correlative to legal duties. এইবিলাক আমি পঢ়িছো নেকি কেতিয়াবা? এইবোৰ কেতিয়াও পঢ়া নাই আমি এনেকুৱা বস্তু। শুনাই নাই এনেকুৱা কথা। In context of India, which one of the following is the correct relationship between rights or duties? Rights are correlative with duties. Rights are personal, hence independent of society and duties. Rights, not duties, are important for the advancement of the personality of the citizen. Duties, not rights, are important for the stability of the state. Rights are correlative with duties. Rights ও থাকিব লাগিব, duties ও থাকিব লাগিব। Independent হ'ব নোৱাৰে বা ইটোৱে এটা থাকিব লাগে ইটোৰ ঘৰত থাকিব নালাগে এনেকুৱা নহয়। Which among the following was added to the DPSP by the 42nd Amendment Act? Participation of workers in the management of industries. With reference to the Constitution of India, the DPSP constitute limitations upon legislative function, executive function. DPSP এ কাৰ ওপৰত বাধা দিয়ে লিমিটেশনস আনে লেজিসলেট কৰিব নিদিয়ে নেকি নে এক্সিকিউটিভক কাম কৰিবলৈ নিদিয়ে নিডাৰ এখিনি হৈ গ'ল আমাৰ নেক্সট কি কৰোঁ Okay. Which one of the following is correct in respect of commencement of the election process in India? Etu kok. C বুলি কৈছে Which one of the following is correct in respect of the commencement of election process? The recommendation for election is made by Election Commission and the notification for election is issued by President and governors of the states concerned. C is correct. Edu korok. Council of States, House of People, nominated Anglo-Indians plus X. Which of the following will fit in the place marked X? C. 2C, not more than 20 representatives of union territories. House of People. 2C is correct. Who among the following have the right to vote in the elections to both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? Elected members of lower house of parliament, elected members of upper house of the parliament, elected members of upper house of state legislature, elected house of lower house of the state legislature. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha দুটাতে ভোট দিব পাৰে 3D elected members of lower house of state legislature পাৰে Which one of the following states of India does not have a legislative council even though the Constitution 7th Amendment Act provides for it? 4D MP. Which of the following is the state in which Lokayukta Act includes Chief Minister in its ambit? Lokayukta Act. Gujarat or Maharashtra? Which of the following political parties is our national political parties? Six D. None. Dinesh Goswami committee was concerned with denationalization of banks, electoral reforms, steps to put down insurgency in the northeast, problems of Chakma, electoral reforms. If in an election to a state legislative assembly, the candidate who is declared elected loses his deposit, it means that candidate elect hoye goise kintu loses his deposit. Tamane ki? A very large number of candidates contested in the election. Hekarne teo loses his deposit. Elect hoye joa pisotu loses his deposit ketia hobo when? It is important. When does a candidate lose his deposit? কিমান হি ভোট পোল নকৰিলে 1/6 ভোট নাপালেও তাৰমানে 100টা মানুহৰ যদি ভোট আছিলে 100টা ভোট আছিলে কিমান নাপালে 1/6 মানে কিমান 16ও নাপালে 16 তলত পাই মেলিও সাপোজ 13 পাই মেলিও 13টা ভোট পাইও যদি জিকি যায় হ'ব 13টা ভোট পাইও জিকি যায় তেতিয়াহলে ক্যান্ডিডেট কেটা থাকিব লাগিব মিনিমাম এটো সিসেটৰ প্ৰশ্ন হৈ থাকিলে এতিয়া 13টা ভোট পাই জিকিব হলে ক্যান্ডিডেটস মিনিমাম কেটা থাকিব লাগিব Yeah, 7-8 ভিতৰতে হ'ব আৰু If the number of seats allocated to a state in the Lok Sabha is 42, then the number of seats reserved for the scheduled caste in that state will be হেতু অকমান গড়বড় কোৱেশ্চন দি দিলে তো এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কোনো 33% ৰিজাৰ্ভেশন এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ নাই নহয় ইয়াত It's a wrong question. Which one of the following is a part of the electoral college for president, but not the forum for his impeachment? Very easy question. State legislative assemblies. Which one of the following statements about duties of Prime Minister is correct? Is free to choose his minister only from among members of either House of Parliament, can choose his cabinet after consulting the President of India, has full discretion in the choice of persons who are to serve as ministers in his cabinet, has only limited power in the choice of his cabinet colleagues because of the discretionary powers vested in the President of India. Full discretion আছে Prime Minister. আৰু তেওঁ যদি ইচ্ছা কৰে আপোনাক মিনিষ্টাৰ বনাব পাৰিব নে নোৱাৰিব Prime Minister যদি ইচ্ছা কৰে আপোনাক মিনিষ্টাৰ বনাব পাৰিব নে নোৱাৰিব যদি পাৰে কিয় যদি নোৱাৰে কিয় পাৰিব কিয় পাৰিব কেনেকৈ পাৰিব কন্ডিশনস কি আছে within 6 months elect হ'ব লাগিব yes Rajya Sabha to at least কৰাই দিব very good concept pura crystal হৈ আছে আপোনালোকৰ Last question ta kori diu tete hole aji karone of the 4 forms of political protests mentioned below which one is derived from the name of the person who use this as a political weapon for the first time? Boycott, Gherao, Bandh, Hartal. Simple questioner. So that's all for today in the recorded class, but we will go to the after class. Thank you for joining in live.